first sound is not a roar. It is a heavy, deliberate step pressing into sun-scorched soil. It does not demand attention. It does not issue a warning. With a single glance and one explosive leap, the hunt is decided.
No.
This is not chance. This is skill, forged through thousands of years of evolution. Each bite, each movement, each moment of patient stalking has been shaped by survival. Lions do not fight for reputation. They fight for survival of the individual and of the pride. In a world with no room for hesitation, the lion reflects a pure survival strategy. Here, a meal does not come from luck. It comes from precision. The hunt ends quickly.
Nope.
But its success sustains an entire system.
Nope.
From cubs and males to the old and weak. Each footprint the lion leaves behind is living proof of why it remains at the top of the food chain. The African savanna is not a still landscape. Ground temperatures often reach levels where heat waves rise visibly into the air. Winds carry hot dust across hip-high grasses, revealing a fact: nothing here comes easily. The dry yellow vegetation looks soft, but hides sharp thorns that can tear through the feet of young animals. Surface water is scarce, only appearing as shallow pools after the rainy season ends. Under these conditions, animal behavior follows a single rule: maximize energy intake, minimize risk of injury. Wildebeest zebras, and other grazers move constantly, feeding close to the ground and leaving behind bare patches. When herds grow too large, the grass roots weaken, the soil cracks, and moisture retention drops. At that point, pressure shifts to the apex predator, the lion, which must catch enough prey to slow down herbivore reproduction. Ecologically, every successful lion hunt extends the life of the grasslands, reducing several hundred The lion's strength lies in group coordination and powerful bite force. Four to six individuals can bring down a full-grown buffalo. This provides meat, and tissue moisture for the entire pride over several days. Meat is rich in protein. Blood contains high moisture content. These resources reduce reliance on distant water sources. However, the cost of an ambush is high. Buffaloes have sharp horns and resist with force. One strike can fracture a lion's shoulder, making it unable to hunt for weeks. This leads to nutrient loss and possible loss of territory to rival groups. Because of this, lions carefully select their targets. They prefer isolated, weak, or young individuals. Territory is essential to survival. A lion pride maintains a large range, marking bushes and patrolling regularly to deter intruders. These patrols consume energy equal to a short hunt. There are no tigers in Africa. Leopards hunt across multiple habitats but are limited by lions. Cheetahs rely on speed in open terrain. Each species occupies a distinct ecological niche to reduce direct conflict and share resources. While lions pressure buffalo herds, leopards focus on small antelopes in dense cover. Cheetahs use open grasslands to chase Thompson's gazelles. This separation of targets allows the food chain to operate with minimal collision. Still, competition is not eliminated. Hyenas wait near attack sites. Vultures track leftovers. Insects multiply on decomposing waste, recycling nutrients into the soil. The African savannah is a place where life and death compete every hour. Under relentless heat and cracked earth, lion cubs are born into an environment where every factor works against the weak. At birth, a lion cub weighs only a few pounds. Its body is small and fragile. Its eyes are closed. It depends entirely on its mother. Its early life unfolds in thickets or dense vegetation, hidden from the view of predators. This is a critical time for physical growth and the development of basic survival reflexes. Mortality rates for lion cubs are extremely high. More than half do not survive to adulthood. The main threats include disease, A lion cub's strength lies not in its physical power, but in its ability to learn quickly and respond to signals from the pride. Cubs are trained early through observation and imitation. When the mother gives a low sound or moves her tail in a specific way, the cub must lie still and avoid movement to stay hidden. These early lessons are the foundation for survival skills later in life. The dry season increases the difficulty of survival. Water becomes scarce. Grass is limited. The pride must travel constantly. During these journeys, which may stretch for dozens of kilometers, the cub must keep up despite limited stamina. The ability to endure and stay close to the mother is critical for survival. By the third month, lion cubs begin to explore the surrounding environment and observe the pride's activities. They are brought near hunting areas to learn by watching, listening, and moving within the group. This is a stage of natural selection. Cubs that grow slowly or lack sharp reflexes are often removed from the path to survival. Even though they are born into the top predator species, lion cubs face significant risks. They do not choose their conditions. They must adapt or be lost, and the savannah offers no second chances. The African savanna is not only harsh because of heat and limited water. The open terrain exposes lion cubs to two major predators. The spotted hyena and the leopard. Both species exploit weaknesses in the pride's defenses. However, each has its own strategy, strengths, and vulnerabilities when confronted directly. Spotted hyenas operate in packs, typically numbering 10 to 20 individuals. They are not larger than lions, but they hold three key advantages: powerful jaws, high endurance, and strict social organization. When a cub is found separated from its mother, the hyenas divide into groups. One group maintains distance to distract the lioness. The other group approaches the target. According to data from Panthera, hyenas are responsible for nearly half of all lion cub deaths during the first year of life. However, their reliance on group tactics is also a weakness. If the lion pride regroups quickly, the hyena's biting advantage and pack confidence decrease. An adult lioness weighs around 265 pounds. One swipe of her paw can force the leading hyena to retreat. Therefore, hyenas only succeed when they strike during the mother's absence or when the pride is spread thin. Unlike hyenas, leopards hunt alone. Their bodies are compact, their legs strong, and their claws sharp. They can climb vertical tree trunks with ease. This makes them fast strike predators. When a leopard spots an exposed den or sees a cub following its mother into open grass, it moves in silently. It sprints over a short distance. Bites the neck, and quickly drags the prey up a tree branch. The height provides safety. The lioness is too heavy to climb. Hyenas can only wait below for scraps. Lionesses do not defend using individual strength. They rely on group coordination. During movement, they form a triangular formation. One lioness leads. The cubs stay close to her belly. The other females guard the sides. This setup expands the field of vision across the grassland while keeping the cubs within a radius of a few yards. When one lioness spots a hyena approaching, she emits a low-pitched growl. This is not a display of power. It is a coded signal. The cubs must immediately flatten against the ground, reducing their visibility. This reflex is reinforced through daily repetition. Delays increase the chance of being targeted. The weakness in the pride's hunting strategy appears during the mother's absence. A buffalo-sized prey requires multiple lionesses to hunt together. Leaving the cubs under the watch of less experienced individuals. This is the vulnerability that hyenas often exploit. As a result, lionesses must maintain a balance, hunt enough to feed the pride, but never stay away too long to avoid losing their cubs, balancing power on the grassland. Hyenas hold advantages in endurance and group coordination. Leopards hold advantages in stealth and climbing ability. Lionesses respond with fast group reactions. No species holds complete dominance. Success depends on maximizing strength and minimizing exposure to weaknesses. When a pride successfully protects its cubs, it maintains the top predator population of the savanna. This controls herbivore numbers and helps stabilize the grassland. If hyenas remove too many lion cubs, the balance shifts. Fewer antelopes are hunted. Grasslands suffer from overgrazing, and a chain of ecological decline begins. Therefore, each confrontation between lionesses, hyenas, and leopards is not only about individual survival. It is a key link that determines the health of the entire savanna ecosystem. When balanced, all three groups maintain populations at sustainable levels. When one side exceeds its threshold, the savanna reacts with imbalance, tightening the loop of natural selection. The savanna does not support isolated individuals. A lion cub must depend on the social structure of the pride to reach maturity. This structure is a tightly organized defense network, active around the clock, adaptive to conditions, and rarely exposed for long. The center of the living fortress is the lionesses. They nurse cubs, lead hunts, and coordinate defense. Each lioness plays a dual role, provider of milk and rapid responder. When one lioness leaves to hunt, at least one remains to guard the cubs. Her ears rotate continuously. Her eyes scan the field. Every direction stays under surveillance. The strength lies in clear task division, allowing four-way vigilance even with limited numbers. Male lions provide the outermost layer of defense. 2 or 3 males patrol the territory's edge. They mark with scent and issue long roars to declare ownership. Their bite force reaches 650 psi. Their bodies exceed 400 pounds. This allows them to deter large hyena packs or wandering male lions, a threat to both cubs and reproductive control. The weakness is dependency on food availability. When prey is scarce, males may invade other territories or abandon the pride, leaving gaps in defense. The living fortress draws strength from 3 factors: milk sharing, coordinated vigilance, and organized counterattacks. These allow cubs in large prides to survive at nearly double the rate of those in smaller groups. The weakness is energy cost. More protection requires more meat. When prey is limited, the system enters a loop. Longer hunts, longer den absence, higher risk of failure. This fortress is not made of stone. It does not stay in one place. It moves daily. It expands and contracts with the migration of herbivores and river levels. Each lioness is a living unit in this structure. They are bound together by a shared biological purpose, protecting the next generation. As long as this coordination holds, lionesses will continue to serve as a living wall, shielding their cubs from the constant threat that stalks the African grasslands. Dawn brings heat and dry winds, marking the start of a long training day for the lion cubs. Between 2 and 6 months of age, play is their main activity, but survival remains the underlying goal of every movement. Mock bites, tail swipes, and chases within a range of several dozen feet create a field-based curriculum to build reflexes, muscle, and coordination. At first, the cubs' bodies are soft, and their muscles lack the strength to spring. They often miss pounces, slide across the grass, and then stand up to try again. These repeated failures stimulate muscle fiber growth, increase bone density, and train balance. Gradually, strengths emerge. Longer leaps, more accurate pounce trajectories, and shorter recovery times between bursts of movement. At the same time, limitations are visible. Small bodies lose heat and moisture quickly under the sun, forcing breaks in the session for shade or nursing. Two-cub play often becomes wrestling. They lock limbs, press necks, and twist to find leverage. This exercise builds neck and shoulder flexibility and increases bite force during neck holds. However, a poorly placed weight shift can cause joint dislocation or break a milk tooth. Even minor injuries can delay recovery, causing the cub to fall behind during pride movements. Field data from the African Wildlife Foundation shows that hunting success rates for lions under 1 year are only about 15%. This low rate plays a vital role. Repeated failures teach distance calculation, force control, and how to disengage when the attack angle is no longer optimal. The weakness of this stage is high energy loss with limited protein intake. Cubs must continue to rely on milk and shared meat from the pride. After 6 months, most lion cubs reach short burst speeds of 25 to 30 miles per hour, enough to join in final chases of young antelopes. Their pounces still lack precision, but their muscles have adapted to explosive motion, and their lungs respond to rapid heart rates. Cubs with frequent, effective play accumulate near-complete skill sets. Lions are the only big cats that hunt in groups. Unlike tigers or leopards that rely on solitary stalking, lions use coordinated strategies. This is a major advantage in the harsh savanna, where prey are increasingly alert, scattered, and cautious. A pride usually consists of 10 to 15 members. Lionesses lead the hunts. They break into smaller groups. Each group takes a strategic position. One group approaches from the front to apply pressure. Others circle quietly from the sides or rear, using terrain and wind direction to stay undetected. The strategy is not based solely on speed or strength. Lions can only sprint at high speed for a few seconds, so shortening the distance, surrounding the prey, and striking at the right moment are critical. Each step is calculated based on wind direction, grass height, and sun position. When the attack signal is given, the entire pride charges at once. The prey is cornered and brought down within seconds. Advantages of group strategy: higher success rate. Studies show group hunting increases the chance of a kill by 3 to 4 times compared to solo attempts. Ability to take down large prey. Animals weighing several hundred pounds, like adult zebras or buffalo, can only be defeated by coordinated group efforts. One group creates confusion to split the herd. Another isolates a weaker target for attack. Reduced individual risk. If one lion misses, others can block escape paths or continue pursuit. The pride. This backup system corrects individual mistakes, something solo hunters cannot afford. Food supply stability. Large prey feeds the pride for several days, which is vital during periods of food scarcity. However, this strategy does not always succeed. Disadvantages of group hunting: requires precise coordination. A single misstep, wrong timing, noise, or poor positioning can ruin the entire ambush. Higher chance of detection. More lions mean more noise, tracks, and scent, especially risky if wind direction changes. Feeding pressure. After a successful hunt, competition over meat, especially between males and females, can lead to unequal feeding. High energy cost if failed. A failed chase consumes significant calories, especially if the pride travels far or faces prey with strong defense. Despite high organization, lion prides often fail. A sudden wind shift can alert the prey. Crunching grass can expose the ambush, or the prey simply reacts too fast. But instead of quitting, lions adapt. They adjust formation. They change the approach. They try again. Persistence and flexible coordination make lions the most effective hunters on the savannah. Not because they are the fastest, but because they use group power to exceed the limits of the individual. This is the foundation of their survival in a competitive ecosystem, where only those that adapt and cooperate can endure. Among all prey on the savannah, the African buffalo presents the greatest challenge to lions. Its massive size, sustained strength, and uncompromising counterattacks make every encounter a serious risk, even for experienced lions. There is no room for solo actions. Hunting buffalo requires a high level of coordination and clear division of tasks. One group is responsible for agitating the herd, forcing confusion and breaking formation. At the same time, other groups move along both flanks. Waiting for the moment to isolate a weaker individual or a calf that can be controlled. The buffalo's ability to fight back, is one of the greatest disadvantages lions face. Many hunts end in failure even with well-executed tactics. In some cases, lions are killed due to a single miscalculated move. According to 2024 biological research data, the success rate for buffalo hunts is only about 30%, and injury rates for lions in these events remain high. Hunting buffalo provides a large reward, but it also acts as a harsh test for the entire pride. It demands tight organization, fast reactions, and high endurance. The advantage lies in coordination. When each lion has a clear role within an effective hunting system, the disadvantage lies in the risk of injury or death. One delayed step can turn a hunter into a victim. In an unforgiving environment like the Savannah, no victory comes easily. Facing the African buffalo is not just an attempt to obtain food. It is a test of limits, strategy, and the survival ability of Africa's top predator. When lions bring down prey and begin tearing into the first pieces of flesh, the hunt is not over. On the Savannah, the scent of blood travels farther than a roar. It acts as an open invitation to hyenas, the direct competitors, not passive scavengers. Nearly 60% of a hyena's diet overlaps with that of lions. This dietary overlap means that conflict is inevitable. Hyenas have two key advantages: endurance and group coordination. A pack of 20 approaches the carcass in a wide formation. They do not rush in immediately. Instead, they stop at a distance of 100 to 300 feet and assess the lion pride, its numbers, exhaustion level after the chase, and whether a male is present. If the carcass is poorly defended, usually after 20 to 30 minutes of continuous feeding, The first group moves in, sprinting past the front of the kill to draw attention. A second group waits for blind angles, tears into exposed abdominal flesh, then retreats. This rotating attack tactic exploits a major weakness in lions: rapid fatigue after extended chases and prolonged throat holds. Lions have superior bite force and muscle strength, but are weak in prolonged defense. Each pounce overheats the body. Breathing becomes labor. Lactic acid builds in their muscles. If lions must stand guard and growl for too long, heart rate remains high, and fatigue increases with each minute. Hyenas are aware of this limit. They laugh, a series of high-pitched, rapid vocalizations, directly into the lion's hearing range, forcing the defender to stay alert and accelerating exhaustion. The interaction between lions and hyenas creates a dynamic balance. Lions rely on strength, rapid strikes, and the ability to bring down large prey, which yields high-energy meat reserves. Hyenas rely on extended harassment, endurance, and digestive systems adapted to bone consumption, maximizing available food. When one side fails, the other fills the gap. Lions may lose the carcass but conserve energy by retreating. Hyenas may win access but spend significant calories in the process. The struggle over kills reveals clear strengths and weaknesses. Lions are powerful in the initial attack but weak in sustained defense. Hyenas excel in team structure but are vulnerable to the male lion's bite force. There is no space for peace. Lions sit at the top of the food chain but face enemies that leave no tracks: climate change and human pressure. Over the past 3 decades, the global lion population has declined by approximately 43%. Today, only around 20,000 individuals remain Panthera. 2023. This number illustrates the growing danger of the invisible threat. Rain arrives late and ends early. The dry season lasts longer and grows hotter. Lions have the advantage of tolerating thirst better than most carnivores, which allows them to remain near shrinking water sources. However, a critical weakness emerges. Lions depend entirely on herbivore herds, and those herds depend on grass. Grass only grows after timely seasonal rains. When vegetation cannot recover, antelope migrate farther away. Prey becomes scarce. Lions are forced to leave the protected core zones and follow scattered prey. Climate change knows no boundaries. Human expansion shows no signs of slowing. Although lions remain at the top of the predator hierarchy, they now face a different challenge. They must learn to use narrow ecological corridors between farmlands, avoid hunting livestock, and adjust breeding cycles to match shifting rainfall patterns. If there is still time, their future depends not only on muscle or hunting tactics, but on how fast they can adapt to two dominant, unseen forces: an unstable climate and an ever-expanding human footprint. The sunlit savanna is a continuous stage of survival where lions hold the highest regulatory role. They outmatch cunning hyenas, heavy-bodied buffalo, elusive leopards, and the extremes of the dry season through muscle, group strategy, and superior drought resistance. These strengths allow lions to maintain balance between herbivore populations and vegetation. But today's threats carry no claws or fangs. Climate change extends dry seasons and pushes prey farther away. Farms and roads fragment lion territory, forcing prides into livestock zones where they face guns, snares, and poison. Their ability to adapt lags behind the accelerating pace of environmental change. This is now their greatest weakness. From the moment a lion cub opens its eyes to the roar that marks a male's territory, every sound carries strength forged through millions of years of natural selection. But today, that roar is also a warning. If lions disappear, herbivore numbers will surge, grasses will be stripped bare, erosion will spread, and water sources will collapse. The entire ecosystem will begin to unravel. Fewer than 20,000 lions remain in the wild. This number is not a sentence. It is a final threshold for action. Ecological fences, GPS alerts, and grassland restoration have already shown that lion conflict can decline and cub survival can rise. Lions bring strength. Humans bring decisions, whether to preserve that strength for balance or let it fade. We are the generation still in time to record the lion's roar across the grasslands. Or the generation that will only reconstruct it from archived footage. The choice lives in every intervention made today.